Alright, hello everyone that's watching the Gaming from Dusk Till Dawn channel. This is Geistmesser 762. You might have heard me a few times if you've watched our previous, our older League of Legends videos, or I think a couple of our Starbound videos. This will be my first effort for the channel at making a video, and I've chosen Sid Meier Starships for this project. It was pretty fun. It was new at the time. As you might guess, it's a continuation on the Civ 5 add-on, Beyond Earth. So if you like that, this one is it's very similar. It focuses a bit more on the combat, I'm told. And I've played it a few times before. I've played a few games, and I thought it might be interesting to do for the channel. So let's get started. Alright, so you get a few different choices here on what kind of people you'd like to play. These guys are a bit more severe, very logical, as you might be able to infer from their cybernetic implants and everything. They value, say, advancement over tradition. The Harmony people, they, they're peacemakers. They like to coexist with their environment and the people in it and the creatures in it, rather than conquering them. And the purity type people, they're more like middle of the road, bit of both. They take advancement when they get it, but they won't sacrifice their humanity to get it. But anyway, that's not really what determines your playstyle. Maybe if you're role playing, but not so much if you're just sort of playing. What determines your playstyle is which leader you pick. Each one has a different bonus. Say for this one, whenever she goes to a planet, it gets there's an extra population bonus. That is an extra city that provides more population on a planet. Or this person starts with 2 random tech upgrades. And so that might sort of determine more which trees you pursue or which things you would need to do first. Anyway, I like to play as her because she gets 50 credits every turn per city. And so if you've upgraded your population quite a bit, you get a lot. And you can get a lot with credits. That is, influence, resources, anything you need. Money talks. Alright, so, but to keep this video within a reasonable length, I'm just going to play a medium-sized game with 3 opponents on moderate. But I am going to leave all the different victories in play. That is, population, science, domination, or wonder. The domination, as you might guess, is dominating all territory on the map. Population is having 51% of all the population on the board. And wonders is having, I think it's 6 or 8 wonders. I believe it's 6. And then science is having, and I can't remember which it is, if you just have a certain amount of upgrades or if you have a certain number of the particular trees completed in science. But I'm going to leave them all open, so the game can end at any time, and with any of those results. Alright, so let's jump right in, and I'm just going to kind of explain things as we go. I think the last time I tried to do this, I tried to explain everything up front, and the video ended up being about 1 hour and 17 minutes long, which, if you're familiar with YouTube, isn't entirely friendly, not entirely conducive to getting an upload done within the day. So, let's get going. Alright, that's just a little bit more information. It'll just do that tutorial every time you start it up. Alright, so you start at your home planet, this border representing your frontier, the territory that you currently control. This will expand around the planets that you occupy as you play. And the other players have a border corresponding to their color as well. You're always blue. I would like, it'd be nice if you could pick other colors, but blue is good. Anyway, so it looks like we're starting down on the lower border of the map, or possibly in the middle. You're sort of reinforces the idea that, you know, this is your first jump off of your planet into the expanses of the universe. Anyway, alright, so up here you have your resources, energy for upgrading your ships and repairing your ships and building your ships, metals for creating wonders and infrastructure improvements on planets, science for researching new technologies, food for building cities and increasing the population on the planet, and credits for really anything. Like I said, money talks. And so, the missions are coded, sort of color-coded. There are 3 levels, green, orange, and red. The red being the hardest and the green being the easiest. Though that could sort of change depending on what sort of technology trees you have chosen to pursue. They might not fit exactly with the mission that you've chosen. Anyway, each planet has a few different stats you need to look at. When you mouse over it, it'll give you a description of what the mission will grant you, but also what bonuses that this planet will grant you once you've integrated it into your Federation. So this planet has engineers who can upgrade your engines. So when you go there and you upgrade your engines, it will cost less energy. And also, if you are able to secure influence on the planet, you will get 50% more food production. At least from that planet, not global, not universally across your Federation. The production is per planet. And when you mouse over it, also you can see by those small hexagons along the dotted line how many crewmen will be exhausted by traveling to that planet. And so this is really important to consider because your crew will perform. Your crew performance in the mission depends on their, how many of them are fatigued. So if you have a fatigued crew, your ships aren't going to perform as well. And this can be bad if you're on a hard mission. But there are some wonders later, things you can do later to mitigate that somewhat. Alright, and so aside from planets, you have this dark matter, sort of a cluster of asteroids. If you go there, you will get a battle card, which is sort of a one-use buff that you can have in a mission if you activate it. And sometimes you have to go through these to get to other planets. As you can see, this one down here, it's shadowed, so we don't know what's there yet. And I don't see any other planets around it. So it's likely that there's a planet out here somewhere. And so once we get here, we can go here, and then go over here, and then go to this planet, instead of having to travel through this, exhausting a crew member, and it looks like 2 more on the way to this planet, and then 2 more back. It's not good to get stuck out in space. As long as you have crew members active, though, you can travel to the planet. But you might not be able to get off of it. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a mission. Let's see. Alright, well this one won't exhaust my crew very much, and it's got a pretty good reward and a pretty good bonus from the planet. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this one.
Approaching Vopeculae 57.
We're going to defeat a pirate squadron. This is an early mission, so they won't be too tough. We've got to occupy some territory for 3 turns. And so that's sort of cut down if you defeat them before the turns are up.
Chance of mission success 44%.
We'll probably occupy it before we can defeat them. But who knows? At 44%, I'm gonna up that. I'm gonna up those odds a bit. And I'll show you how.
Displaying planetary information.
All right, so we can't shoot as far and we can't see as far. All right. so probably upgrade defensive capabilities and close-range weapons. See, I've got some balance here. Alright, so I don't even have any long-range weapons. And so your ships are sort of a random roll. Every time they'll have different abilities. They look similar. This gun emplacement's in sort of a different place, and sort of their components have been sort of rolled a bit, but they sort of have all the components right now. And your ship design is determined by which sort of philosophy you chose: supremacy, harmony, or purity. These are purity ships, and they're very conventional looking. They have sort of the angled armor and sort of signs and demarcations and stuff on the outside. Supremacy ships are they're a bit more angular. They look a bit like if you remember the Spirit of Fire from Halo Wars. That's what they kind of look like. And the purity ships are a bit more organic looking, kind of like they were grown. I say purity, I meant harmony. These are purity ships. Anyway. Alright, so let's actually go ahead and get some lasers. And then some armor. Alright, so that's... And if you noticed the speed here, that goes down every time you add modules. But that can be mitigated by adding engine upgrades. And sort of for a defensive battle like this, I'm not sure if we need that much, but I definitely needed to upgrade my HP. Because if we're trying to, tank hits here, we need to be able to do that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the shields on this one, but I'm going to save the rest of my credits for repairs later. Alright, so let's light this cannon.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, so you'll notice this red vortex here. That is a warp gate. When you go through the warp gate, at first it will give you a random teleport to any of the other warp gates in the area. So I could end up all the way on the other side of the map, so I'm not going to take that right now. I can, however, launch some fighters.
Fighters launched.
Now, fighters are a lot more maneuverable than your larger ships. So I can launch my fighters, and if they don't get blown up, I can use them to run out ahead in advance and occupy the station, and then they can defend, or if they die, whatever. The enemy doesn't have the station, and I've already got a turn of occupying the station in my favor.
Entering narrow passage. Power core has been lost.
Or I can use my fighters to flank the enemy
Entering
ship
narrow passage.
and blow the crap out of it. Alright, so that'll become very important, especially in later battles. You have to be aware of the positioning of your ship. You can zoom in here. So right now, let's take for example these fighters. Bots aren't that sophisticated, and so they'll flank you if they can, but at a certain range they'll mostly come at you head-on, from a direct line. And so this positioning might be okay. But sort of consider the terrain that they might want to get around, so if I move here, they won't want to fire through these asteroids, especially on this map, since the sensors and weapons range is reduced. So they would probably try to fly through this narrow passage here that opens up periodically if they can, or through here, or even all the way around here to try and hit me from behind. Your shields are weaker at the rear of your ship, so you always want to try and turn your bow or your sides toward the enemy. Later you can get some upgrades that will remove that penalty. But it's my first mission, so I definitely don't have any of that.
Engaging stealth systems.
Alright, so within a certain radius, they won't be able to detect me in stealth. But if you saw that big purple circle, yeah. So, if you mouse over your stealth mode button down here on your action bar, it will tell you the radius of your stealth field. And so they're right on the edge of it, so if they move forward a bit, or if I move towards them while in stealth, they will detect me. Alright, so these fighters are pretty maneuverable. They have 6 moves, so they can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can move right up on the bow of the ship, so I may want to try and draw their fire with my more powerful ship. This one's taking a bit of damage. Whatever happens, I don't want to give them the opportunity to shoot me in the back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that would not be a good move. I'm going to want to maybe move over here, where it will be harder for them to flank me. I might even be able to hit them from here. Yes, I can.
Enemy reinforcements detected.
Nice shot.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use my battle card to strengthen my shields. So hopefully
Battle card activated.
that will...
Enemy
get them next
reinforcements
time.
detected.
Whoop! Okay. Well, that was a bit unexpected. I thought I had a little bit more time to get there. Alright, I failed to occupy it for 3 turns. Oh well. That was unfortunate. And my ships took damage. And I don't have enough to repair them. Well, it wasn't completely destroyed, so it will be available in the next mission. Alright, so, not a very good start, but I can try again. Alright, probably should have upgraded my engines, but that's okay. Let's try this other mission.
Approaching Lindsys 46. Displaying planetary information.
Okay, so I can shoot through the asteroids a bit easier. Sort of the opposite of the last mission where that stuff pretty much nullified my long-range weapons. Yep, I have to defeat this transport here. The ship with the gravity ring around it, the artificial gravity ring.
Chance of mission success 53%.
Okay, those are better odds definitely than the last one. And really, once I destroy this one, the mission's over.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, let's get him. Alright, so where is that gate? Or I have to prevent the ship here from getting to this planet. So I might just hold my ship that's taken a lot of damage back in reserve.
Fighters launched.
Send this one that hasn't taken quite as much damage out to fight.
Nice shot.
Nice shot.
You see how the fighters were... They provided a decoy. For some reason, he decided not to attack my flagship here and decided to go for the fighters. Not the best idea.
Entering narrow passage. Engaging stealth systems.
So, it would appear that my ships in the colony ship are sort of equal speed. Neither are very fast.
Engaging stealth systems.
So we're gonna sit here and tickle each other to death.
Nice shot.
I got him. Alright.
Trade route
Well, that was
established
galling.
with Lindsys 46.
Alright, so 50% of the population of the planet support joining my federation. So that's 1 point for visiting them first, and another point for completing the easy mission, on which I lost one of my ships. That doesn't say very much. It doesn't say anything good about me. Anyway. And so, as you can see, my crew's getting fatigued. So I may have to go ahead and go on shore leave while I'm here. And so you can't upgrade your ships until you've repaired them. So to do that, you just click on the HP bar, and they will light back up. So you can tell the difference here. These light up when you can upgrade them. But you have to have the full sum of 400 energy, or the full sum of energy required to repair the ship before you can repair it. I can just do 60 energy worth of repairs. Okay. Well, we've sort of gotten the basics of the combat down, and so let's take a look at some of the other stuff. Alright, so when you go into your science, you have pretty much all the categories of stats for your ship that you can upgrade with science upgrades. These are usually percentage upgrades rather than a set number, they will provide a percentage upgrade to every energy-based upgrade that you apply to your ship. So taking a point in shields will give you 25% more of the number from that upgrade. And so my weapons have been kind of weak sauce so far, and that is the cheapest one right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take the laser.
Completed. Nano-electronics level 1.
Okay. Alright. And so this next turn will give me that much energy, and this much, it'll give you this much of each resource. Once you have a planet that it gives you resources. So I get 50% corresponding to the 50% influence I have. With 75% you actually get all of the resources. But you don't fully control a planet until you have 4 influence points. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take the short leave.
Venez, mettez-vous à l'aise. Franco-Iberia vous accueille chaleureusement.
Alright, so you get one of these every time you meet a new leader. In this case, it's Elodie. And she's a Harmony Elodie, so that doesn't really affect her bonuses or anything, but it's a different character. Different than my particular philosophy of purity, so presumably my people would sort of see her as, not quite on the level because she has integrated sort of alien physiology into herself and not stayed a pure human. So that won't really affect how I deal with her, but it would, in universe, sort of affect how my people deal with her.
Si, amigo.
Alright. And so these are the ships that she has. They're a little bit more powerful than mine, I think.
Beviamoci
So they
sopra.
haven't expanded too much. It's the beginning of her turn.
Beviamoci sopra. Avec cette épée,
And so,
nous vous apportons la culture.
at least initially, it is good to have peace with your neighbors, unless you just want to be, bellicose. Which, hey, you want to roleplay? The game definitely supports it. You want to be warlike or peaceful. But I'm going to just go ahead and be peaceful. It's a good idea to, sort of have something to back up your threats before you do any threatening. Alright, so then you can sort of go on, and you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait through the computer's missions, really. You can go about.
Receiving all resources from Lindsys 46.
Alright, so when you go on shore leave, you gain an influence point at a planet. So you can do that. You can really, if you had 1 point from a mission, you could, go back to that planet every time and get more influence. And this would actually replace influence that other characters had gotten on the planet. If they had any influence. Okay. And so, it doesn't repair your ships automatically after each turn, so you sort of have to do that. So, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the engines. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can't just go ahead and... Nope, not quite. Don't quite have enough money. Alright, but I can go ahead and upgrade the sensors a bit. And if I want to do any other missions with more success than the last ones, I might want to be able to get around better. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the engines. And as you can see, this adds modules onto your ship. And these display, of course, in the missions as well. Alright. And sort of each one gives you some HP to your ship. These are your big HP upgrades, your armor. But the every upgrade gives you some HP. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. Since the last one ran a little bit long, I'm trying to be a bit more cautious. And I will see you guys next time.